Mexico attacks our Second Amendment. Trump makes fake news pay for their lies. And will partisan J6 committee members go to jail? This is The Loaded Mic, and I'm Dan Watts. The Mexican government is suing American gun manufacturers. Now, the case called Smith & Wesson versus Mexico stems from a lawsuit filed in 2021 by the Mexican government, in which the government alleged that the legal manufacturing of firearms in America has aided and abetted firearm trafficking in Mexico and contributed to damage the Mexican drug cartel is inflicting on Mexican citizens. Now, the Mexican government is claiming that U.S. gun manufacturers like Smith & Wesson, Ruger, and others should be liable for so-called gun violence carried out by cartels south of the border. Therefore, Mexico is suing in the First Circuit Court in Boston, Massachusetts. Now, regardless of the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act, the PLCAA, which protects manufacturers from this sort of activity, on April 18, 2024, a petition for a writ of certiorari was filed stating, in creating this immunity from suit, Congress recognized that it was not just the risk of liability, but the cost of defending against suit that needed to be foreclosed. That is why the statute says not only that covered suits must fail on the merits, but that they may not be brought in the first place. Gun Owners of America filed an amicus brief stating this case involves a flagrantly erroneous interpretation of an important federal statute, which protects the firearm industry and the people's exercise of their constitutionally enumerated right to keep and bear arms. Now, the First Circuit took it upon itself to apply novel theories to interpret an exception to the PLCAA so broadly as to negate the very protection that Congress enacted the statute to provide. So originally, the trial court in Boston, Massachusetts ruled correctly by agreeing the case brought by Mexico was absurd in that the already highly regulated American firearm manufacturers should not be responsible for illegal activity that happens in Mexico. On appeal, the anti-Second Amendment court decided that Mexico should be able to sue an American manufacturing company for contributing to the illegal activity of the Mexican drug cartel and other bad actors. So, would this lawsuit have come about if President Trump was in office? Is this happening specifically because of Joe Biden and his failures in office? It would seem if two countries have disputes over such issues, they would be handled diplomatically, not through our American court system, in what appears to be an attempt at destroying the rights of American citizens. So how did the Mexican government know exactly where to sue for the best results? And is it possible that the Biden administration has given guidance to Mexico in this particular lawsuit? If the Biden administration had coerced with the Mexican government with respect to this case, it would seem quite believable given this administration's intent on destroying the American firearm industry. So this particular court in Boston, Massachusetts is no friend of the Second Amendment, but it is likely that this case will get dismissed by the Supreme Court and it will forever reside in the dustbin of history, along with Joe Biden and his 4 disgraceful years in office. For more Second Amendment content, please check out my Good Gun, Bad Guy book series at goodgunbadguy.com. Now, we're going to talk about this and many other things with He's So Knowledgeable, Siri Asks Him Questions, John Chiara. And he's not political, but he will make a liberal cry just to drink their tears, Anthony Diso. Is that accurate? Would you make a liberal cry just to drink their tears?
Yeah. A little sweet, though.
So, all right. So I wanted to get. I know that was a long monologue, but I thought it was pretty important. Is it okay for Mexico to sue Smith and Wesson?
No essay.
Because even if their guns are being used by the cartels and causing problems in Mexico.
Boy, Mexico's really gone off the deep end, haven't they?
It's like suing Ford because they're using their cars to smuggle drugs across the border.
Wait, whoa, don't give them any ideas.
Exactly. That's a good analogy. I mean, yeah, exactly. So if I buy American sneakers and I trip and fall in Mexico, is it Nike's fault?
Well, could be if they win the case.
Wherever the deep pockets are.
So ridiculous. But I thought that it was worth talking about. I mean, come on. But then the point is, though, would they do this if Joe Biden wasn't behind it? I mean, I think he's behind it. It looks like he's behind it. I mean, how would they even know to sue in this particular court?
I think everything should stop until January 20th. Just stop doing stuff. Because it's all going to be, whatever happens between now and then, is all suspect, right? I mean, you know, you're going to see stupid things happen, and then obviously Biden's in
all the
control,
drone
supposedly.
nonsense and what's going on with the drones? Come on.
I heard something about the drones.
Tell us
I
about the
called
drones.
a local radio station yesterday, day before.
You doing a contest?
What? No. I was just listening. I wasn't calling in. And said that supposedly
First-time caller, John.
long-time listener.
Long-time listener,
First-time caller. I want to buy a drone.
But somebody said that they heard that there's a missing nuclear warhead from Ukraine that's supposedly stored somewhere on the east coast of the United States. And that's what they think. The drones are going up at night looking for heat signatures. That's what they think is going on.
Oh, my
One
God.
possible explanation. Who knows?
Who knows?
Testing them things. Going to send them over to put them all on ships off the coast and over by Iran and start some negotiations, you know?
So they're trying to make it sound like they don't know, like this is always like we don't know what's going on. This is just regular consumer use, right? And well, no, it's just this is normal drone. But why all of a sudden? Oh well, I guess now all of a sudden people are noticing them. Are you seriously?
Early Christmas gifts.
Nobody ever noticed all this drone activity before this. All of a sudden, we're all waking up going, oh my gosh, look at all the drones.
Well, when they're the size of punch buggies, now you're going to notice them.
They've got to be testing them. That's all. I mean, it's got to be
doing
you know,
something.
But then
the whole thing over in Syria and stuff's going on with Israel and Iran and all this stuff. I mean, drones is the future. I mean, you're not going to be sending people over there. So
You
if they
see
can send-
Schumer wants to. He's trying to. He come out with some regulations on.
Of course.
It's
That's the whole idea.
Chuck Schumer.
Regulate.
That's what he said. Yep, he came out with
Consumer-
some stupid thing he came up with. Oh, I want to regulate, or we want to figure out. It's like, shut up,
Well,
stupid.
that's like gun control. Let's regulate the stuff that doesn't hurt, not hurt
Yeah.
anybody, and don't pay any attention to the big things.
As soon as this drone stuff started, I said, just like the gun stuff, as soon as there's a school killing or something like that, there's always gun regulations that will soon follow. So it's almost like I'm not saying in the drone thing, they may specifically be putting them up there just to create legislation. I don't know, but that's what they do. So the first thing I said was, there's going to be some sort of private citizen regulation now on drones. Because I have a drone. I love using
I
my
was going
drone.
to say, Dan, I've seen you fly it
They're fun, and they're useful because
over swimming pools.
you can get aerial photography and stuff like that. We do a lot of stuff like that.
There's Chuck to the rescue.
Yeah, here comes Chucky Schumer.
Chucky.
Sup, Chuck?
Chuck is
He needs to go. He's another one of those guys. They're worthless. They should be gone. They're
just starts trouble. That's all he does is start trouble in Congress. That's all he does. He comes up with nonsense and pushes back on everything Republican. Always in there starting trouble with somebody. I got a story here
Tell us.
regarding fake news. So for ever since Trump got into office, he brought to light fake news. You're fake news, and he would point it out, and people at first didn't quite get it, but now we recognize all the fake news. It's everywhere. So here's an article by New York Post. George Stephanopoulos, or George Snuffleupagus, is apoplectic, humiliated over ABC News $16 million defamation suit settlement with Trump. Did you hear about this?
Mm-hmm.
Trump's getting $16 million. Not that he needs it, but ABC News anchor George.
Museum, right? That's where it's going, to the Trump Museum.
That's right. Yep. George Stephanopoulos is humiliated by the network's decision to pay $16 million to settle a defamation lawsuit brought by President Donald Trump. The Post has learned. Okay, so Stephanopoulos, who claimed Trump had raped E. Jean Carroll. Did you see this woman? Who the heck is going to want to even get near her?
Nobody.
But the claim was that Trump raped her during an interview with Republican lawmaker Nancy Mace. I mean, claims not that Trump raped her during an interview. The claim is that he was accused of raping her during the interview with Nancy
During the interview. Where's the video?
Stephanopoulos, I guess, was particularly upset about being forced to apologize. So he didn't want to apologize about it. And another source told the Post that George is defiant. A third source said Stephanopoulos is a very guarded person. His circle of trust is so small, and a lot of them don't work at ABC anymore. So I guess a lot of people are jumping ship, or they're getting fired, or whatever. The host of This Week had recently signed a contract extension with Disney-owned ABC News, though the source did not disclose the terms of the deal. The former president, Bill Clinton aide, has kept a low profile since the settlement. $15 million donation, as you were saying, to a presidential foundation and museum for Trump, and another $1 million for Trump's attorney fees. He deactivated his X account, where he had more than 2.3 million followers, and some ABC News staffers fumed at management for keeping a tight lid on coverage of the settlement. And it was front page news everywhere, yet ABC doesn't report on itself, the source said. Sources also told the New York Post that morale is down after a series of layoffs in all departments. And the settlement is just another gut punch. One of the people said it's sheer level embarrassment, and people are furious. The settlement was announced just a day after a judge ruled that Stephanopoulos and Trump had to sit for depositions in the case. The depositions were scheduled for this week, so neither one of them wanted to sit for depositions, so they kind of settled on it. So go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
That's it. I mean, they settled probably because they thought Trump was going to win if they went through with the whole thing, you know? Yeah. I mean, Stephanopoulos misspoke like 10 times, right? Said something that wasn't true over and over and over again on national news. What do you think? There's no responsibility anymore with these people. No accountability. It's just crazy. Well, now we got it, and now everybody's bummed out.
Well,
sorry.
Now that's kind of precedence now. So what's going to happen with all the others? All the
shut their mouths.
Joy Behar and all the other.
Well, they're not news outlets, but jeez. You gotta watch out for the whoopee.
But still, oh no, we can go back to that Howard Stern.
The whoopee. The whoopee.
I was watching Star Trek yesterday, and I kept saying, "There's the whoopee, the whoopee."
If anybody's ever seen the Howard Stern and what's his name, Sherman Hemsley.
It's disgusting, and it's amazing that it's still on YouTube.
Because he's a liberal.
All platforms.
Because he's liberal scum. That's why.
Yeah, now he's a liberal. So
and
that
he apologized. So I guess when you're a liberal and you do something so heinous and you apologize, it's okay.
We should put a link to that in the notes.
You really want to get thrown off of YouTube, you put that. Well, it is on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah,
but they'll throw us off for showing it. Probably
they threw
damn Republicans.
They threw us off for talking about the J6 and the movie by our friend Chris Burgard, who Capital Punishment movie. So yeah,
you talk about ivermectin, you talk about hydrochloric, you talk about anything, they throw you off YouTube.
Not so much anymore. So we'll see how long this video. We're just mentioning stuff now, but we'll see how long this. What happens with this video on YouTube, because I think that not keeping up with their typical liberal cancel culture anymore. I think it's starting to ease up a little bit because they realize it's just not selling with people.
Absolutely.
You know, because somebody's going to come along and buy YouTube one day, and you know, the libs are going to have nothing.
Maybe you could buy still all that Bitcoin you have.
Yeah. I don't have much Bitcoin. I wish I bought Bitcoin
28 cents
15 years ago. Yeah. I do have some, but not as much as I'd like. But well, you don't have any Bitcoin.
I don't know.
But you got the
I should have Bitcoin.
NVIDIA.
Let's not talk about our investments on there, Dan.
Okay. To one of our sponsors real quick. This device, the Cali Key, removes your AR from the definition of assault weapon. Now, did you know that when so-called assault weapon ban lists are created, they exclude manually operated bolt-action firearms? So just by dropping this Cali Key into your direct impingement AR in place of your semi-automatic BCG, you'll have a bolt-action rifle that falls outside the definition of an assault weapon. You don't need to do anything else. So give the Cali Key a look, because with it, you could retain all your rifle's features, avoid registration complications, revive your black rifle sales if you're an FFL, regain the ability to do private party transfers, legally transport across hostile jurisdictions, hunt with your AR in areas like Pennsylvania, and enhance long-range precision and quieter suppressed shooting. Cali Key has state-specific expert attorney opinions on its website and supports grassroots Second Amendment organizations with its sales. Cali Key's mission is to empower customers and claw back our civil liberties. So go to calikey.com and use the discount code LOADED. All right. So moving on here. What else is in the news, guys? I think we should talk about Anthony's girl, Hochul.
What's that rat-faced monster up to?
Well, your rat-faced monster.
Oh boy, here we go.
What is she destroying today?
She's going to give away money to everybody.
What is she doing to help everyone's lives better?
Yeah, right.
Free rides in the paddy wagon.
Here's another article from the New York Post. Governor Hochul's $500 inflation refund plan
Oh God,
is just fool's gold for votes.
$250, and you got to file it in your taxes, so you don't get anything. What are we doing?
Stupid.
What are we doing? It's a waste of taxpayers'
And it's already
money.
money we don't have.
I don't want your $500, you rat-faced monster.
Well, the article goes on to say, there she goes again. Kathy Hochul's playing New Yorkers for suckers. Her latest hokum is to plan to give taxpayers an inflation refund up to $500 depending on income. She calls it a big deal, but New York Post calls it fool's gold. Look at it this way. Thanks to her hitting commuters with a $9 a day congestion tax. Remember, we talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
So let me just give a little more information on this congestion tax in New York, certain parts of New York City, if people don't understand. Originally, she had $15 to go into certain areas of Manhattan. I think it was just Manhattan. And it didn't fly. Nobody liked it. It was awful. So they canceled it, and they did away with it. So she comes back, and she wants to bilk the people for more money. So she says, well, we're going to give you a deal. It's not so bad. It was $15. It's only going to be $9 now. Well, no, actually, it was $0. You're not giving us a deal. It's now $9 to drive your car into certain.
I got a friend of mine who's in this band.
What's that?
Who has an apartment.
Let's give him a playing with fire band. Okay.
Who has an apartment in New York, and he was saying, he goes, so the people that live there got to pay $15 to go home. Every day. It's like, what's up with that? Like, if you're working out of town and you're coming into the city, you got to pay money to go to your house, go to your apartment.
Just across the GW is $16.75.
Well,
Really?
right on top of all the other
Coming
things.
into the city is
Right, coming into the
$16.75.
city.
Then you got to leave and pay $15.
Tappan Zee Bridge has gone up too.
I haven't been there.
Tappan Zee Bridge used to be $4, and now I think it's $7, $8, or $9.
Isn't
somewhere
it
in
the
that
Mario Cuomo Bridge now or whatever?
It's always going to be the Tappan Zee Bridge to me. And I think New Yorkers will always consider it the Tappan Zee
Dan's
Bridge.
a rebel.
Well, I mean, Cuomo came
Use
in.
the proper pronouns, Dan.
And people don't know this across the country. Cuomo, in his arrogance, he wanted to name it after his father. Andrew Cuomo wanted to name it after his father. The Tappan Zee Bridge was at the bottom of the thruway, New York Thruway, going
Native
into New York
American
City.
name,
Right.
That's what it is.
It was perfect. There's no reason to change it except for an arrogant governor who ended up resigning in disgrace.
Daddy's name on a bridge.
Anyway, back to Hochul. Look at it this way. Thanks to her hitting commuters with a 9-day congestion tax starting next month, the $500 would be equivalent of about 3 months of the fee. So basically, that's what,
Here's 3 months. Now shut up and go over the bridge.
for the other 9 months, you're in the red to the tune of thousands of added tax dollars each year. What a bargain. The give with one hand, take with the other approach reveals why the governor's sucking wind with voters. She wants to appear to be addressing the cost of living crisis, but lacks the courage and skill to do it effectively. New Yorkers are being priced out of their homes and out of the state largely by Albany's policies. It's a national tax capital. Energy prices are skyrocketing, and the costs of Medicaid and school aid keep soaring well beyond any reasonable connection to need and merit. The state budget is now a whopping $237 billion, an increase of nearly $100 billion in 10 years, and it's never enough. Will Hochul cut the tax and fees that are among the highest in the nation? Never. Will she take an axe to government spending? Not a chance. What are your thoughts?
She's worthless. Until the state turns red, we're going to be stuck to it.
Well, if it doesn't turn red next time, we're done. New York City's going to crumble.
Well, this is the thing. I think she's trying to. This is her way of trying to keep voters. Give them a handout.
Yeah, but keeping them. I mean, if you live in New York City and she's charging you $9 to go home every day, is that $300 going to make a difference to you?
Right.
They're not addressing the cause of any of this. They're just like putting little tiny Band-Aids on stuff. They're basically saying, here's a little bit of money, go away and be quiet. That's what she's saying.
The only thing that keeps New York City alive is rent control. Because if there wasn't rent control, nobody could live there.
A lot of people are in that situation.
Because you got a lot of people taking over people's apartments that were rent controlled that keep the rent controlled.
Oh.
Because I know somebody that moved down there to the Bronx.
They were able to take over a lease?
Right. You got the rent control.
Which is not good
But
for
that
landlords.
No, it's awful for
But
landlords.
that apartment without rent control is like $3,000 or $4,000 a month.
Right.
1 bedroom, 800 square feet.
Yeah.
Not even.
That's another thing. Can you imagine spending $4,000 a month on a
You got to
one?
be a moron. Where are you working
And that
to pay $4,000 a month?
Well,
for a one-bedroom
You got to
apartment.
make $150
That's
grand a year
600
just to
square
keep your
feet.
nose above water,
Yeah.
just to pay your expenses.
So, where are the people who work at Burger King and McDonald's in Manhattan living?
Where all the
Yes,
jazz
they can't.
musicians?
Are they
live
living in
eight
the
in an
subway?
apartment?
Yeah, they can't. They
So
can't.
you can't.
You can't.
If the state keeps going the way it's going, New York City's going to crumble.
I don't think you're supposed to live on minimum wage jobs anyway. I always thought minimum wage. Let me know your opinion. I always thought minimum wage jobs, McDonald's and stuff like that.
Yeah, when you're 16.
You're 16 years old. You're just in high school. You're trying to make a few extra bucks. It's just their starter jobs. But now somehow we've come to this place where minimum wage is
They're
supposed
making
to.
$20 an hour.
Is that what minimum wage?
18 to some of them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
The city's got to be paying more. They got to be paying more in the city.
Oh yeah.
But still, even $22 in the city is like 65 cents. So
Well, I got a crazy question. Have you been to McDonald's lately?
no.
I didn't even know. Well, I can understand what things cost. I mean, I see ads sometime, and you go online and you look at the menus on these things. It's like you get a
dude.
Big Mac and a Coke, and it's like $12.
Remember when
It
Taco
sounds
Bell used to be your late night go to for $1?
We were just talking about Taco Bell.
It's
yeah.
ridiculous. I know someone who orders like 3 things and a drink, $23. I'm
They
like,
do have their big box of poop
like,
now that
what
they're
the
selling
hell?
for $7.
it's costing
Big
$23.
box of crap for $7.
Anywhere you go,
No,
fast
I
food.
know. Well, I'm still hung up on this rent. $4,000. Let's just take this. Let's look at this for a second. You got a crappy little single bedroom. What are we talking about? 750
Not
square
even.
feet
Some of them
with
are
no
500.
parking.
500 square feet, no
Where do you
parking,
park your car?
and you're paying $4,000 a month.
Yeah.
For $4,000 a month, you can go into the suburbs and you could have
$500,000 house.
a $500,000 house, $600,000 home.
But then you got to travel into the city every day. So then they call it convenience. well, I pay this
you
because it's
gotta-
convenient to this. I'm like, yeah, but then I can take the subway to this and this. I'm like, but still.
Not my lifestyle. I
I
can't
mean,
even imagine.
even Boston's the same way. I know somebody who has 2 roommates and they're paying each $18.50 a month. Each.
So they're like 1850, so 8 is $3,700 a month.
They're paying for the lifestyle and atmosphere.
Oh my God! To smell
Hell's
smell urine when you walk out of the
well,
building.
they're paying almost $5,000 something a month. 18 times 3.
Oh, 3 people.
3 people
Oh, I thought you said
in a
2.
3-bedroom,
Must
1
be a
bath.
nice place, indoor pool and stuff.
3-bedroom, 1 bath in the city of Boston.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Well,
I mean, but
as
that-
a landlord, I don't mind. I like the high rents, but I don't know how anybody could justify it. How can you?
Well, right. If you're a family looking for a place to live and raise your kids and stuff, real estate in general, right, is hot. I mean, even rent around here is
Rent's ridiculous
insane.
around here. They got
It's
they got
insane.
places on Broadway in Albany for $19.50 a month for a 1-bedroom.
Oh,
1
at
bath.
least right, and all the places
Oh
like
my
on Starbuck Island and stuff. All
On Broadway in
new,
Albany.
right? The new stuff they just built there. A couple grand a month for a 1-bedroom apartment.
Oh my God!
It'd be convenient for me because
3 bedrooms, like $3,400. I'm like, in Albany? Really?
Oh, that's right. Who wants to live in Albany anyway?
That's why I'm not moving.
Convenience.
But LifeWave is a non-transdermal patch that allows your body to produce its own natural pharmacy through light energy. Now, the X30 patch tells your body to emit heat in the form of light, which reflects back into your body, elevating a certain copper peptide. This peptide activates your stem cells, which are the only type that can move throughout your body to heal inflammation. Now, LifeWave offers an affordable membership and has a history of wellness that spans 20 years. It's been around since 2004 to help organizations like SEAL Team 6 and the Olympic swim team stay awake and alert. Now, today, these non-addictive patches are used by thousands of athletes and military professionals. LifeWave is available in over 80 countries. Is giving millions of people the opportunity of maximum wellness. So for more information, testimonials, patents, and studies, go to justpatch.biz. All right. So, yes, because society has lost its mind and no one's calling out the insanity, we created a segment called...
I like her.
Triggered.
She sounds like a real fun person to hang out with.
So, in this clip, another liberal lunatic who thinks she can make demands of people and even physically assault them if they try to exercise their freedom. Well, she gets a little bit of a dose of reality. Check this clip out.
There's no fishing on this property, right?
Yeah, but we tried. Mind your business on my money.
Oh, really? Oh, bastard.
Hey, what is wrong with you?
I like people who follow the goddamn rules on this property. That's what's wrong.
Call the cops.
We pay these. I'm going to. And go down to the...
Can you believe that? She doesn't want the guy fishing there, so she literally runs in and tries to knock him into the water.
Is that some kind of homeowners association or some kind of condo development?
I don't know, but...
Who cares if you're fishing?
Oh, my God.
If there's fish in there, who cares?
There's busybodies everywhere.
I would have thrown her and her 2 little dogs right in the freaking lake.
You
and your little
and
dog,
your mutts
too.
are going in.
At least the dogs can swim.
I just thought that was a little funny thing.
I don't know, man. They're crazy out there.
Yeah. It's just these leftists have gone absolutely berserk, where they can think that they can physically hurt people if they want. Like, what is this?
That's the left, though, right?
Yeah.
Well, according
They're
to
all
them,
worried about us.
they're worried about us doing that, but I don't see anybody doing that.
Anyway,
She had a gun.
she probably would. Yeah, right. Exactly. That's why I wouldn't. If we can't trust anybody with guns, I would say
Democrats.
it's the Democrats. It's the liberals. We can't.
Pass a law.
They've just they're unhinged.
It's a law.
No more gun laws. But all right. Right back after the short break. We got a lot more coming up.
The Cali Key removes your AR from the definition of an assault weapon. It lets you keep your rifle with all its features avoid registration hassles, and transport in hostile jurisdictions. The Cali Key also lets you hunt in jurisdictions like Pennsylvania and enhances long-range precision shooting. Cali Key's expert legal opinions empower informed decisions, and sales help grassroots Second Amendment organizations. Cali Key is your tool to keep and equip your AR, empower yourself, and defend your civil rights.
Our founding fathers saw them coming over 200 years away. That's why they wrote the Second Amendment. Join us in the fight to preserve your gun rights and stop unconstitutional gun control. Gun Owners of America is the country's only no-compromise gun rights organization. Not only do we inform and educate, but we bring the fight to court and win. Your God-given right to keep and bear arms is our top priority. Become a member today and help us take back America. Join us at gunowners.org.
Light in the furnace.
So, John's talking about pilot lights and furnaces and gas meters and stuff like that.
Well, it doesn't matter because soon you won't be able to have any gas appliances in New York State. Right?
Oh, God.
No gas for you.
So let's talk. Speaking of John, let's talk about John's girl, Liz Cheney.
Ooh, Lizzie.
In an article by Breitbart, House GOP demands FBI investigate Liz Cheney for alleged witness tampering. With respect to the J6 stuff. House Republicans are demanding the FBI investigate Liz Cheney for allegedly tampering with at least one witness of the partisan January 6th committee. Now, Cheney, a former member of the panel, said last week that she should not go to jail for alleged wrongdoing during her tenure on the committee. President-elect Donald Trump accused members of the partisan panel of destroying committee evidence that he said exonerated him from allegations of wrongdoing. A report released Tuesday by House Administration Oversight Subcommittee Chairman Barry Loudermilk stated the partisan committee neglected or withheld evidence from its final report and deleted voluminous records it should have preserved. Not surprised. Then based on the evidence obtained by the subcommittee, numerous federal laws were likely broken by Liz Cheney, the former vice chair of the January 6th select committee. And these violations should be investigated by the Federal Bureau of Investigations, Loudermilk recommended. You guys got thoughts on this? Jay, go ahead. Let me hear it. And then I get.
Well, first of all, they found out that there was FBI informants there that day, right? At least 4 people were there that weren't supposed to be there. So this whole thing might just blow up in their faces. Once Trump gets in and they start looking into this stuff, I think a lot of this crap's just going to be thrown on the table, and you're going to find people are still in jail. From way back then, they're still in jail.
4 years in jail.
They're in jail because if they let them out, they're going to sue them. They're going to let them sue them under Trump.
Well, probably Biden will pardon everyone in the world before he gets out.
Well, didn't he already make like 9,000 pardons?
Yeah,
Well,
he's letting
he had a bunch of pardons, and he had a bunch of other things where
he's letting some serious criminals out of prison.
Yeah, he commuted their sentences or something.
Are these Congress people that he pardoned?
I saw a list the other day.
9,000 is a lot of people.
Mind-boggling.
Like, why in the world? Yeah, I saw the numbers of how many pardons he did versus how many
Him and
pardons.
Obama did more than anybody forever.
Because all their friends are corrupt. So sick. So freaking sick, man.
Well, you got to pay back party loyalty somehow, right? Okay, well, you're off the hook.
I love the I'll pardon you for crimes you didn't commit yet.
Right.
What the hell is that?
Yeah.
How is that even legal? I'm going to pardon you for crimes you're going to commit 10 years from now.
Former Representative Liz Cheney colluded with star witness Cassidy Hutchinson without Hutchinson's attorney's knowledge. Former Representative Liz Cheney should be investigated for potential criminal witness tampering based on new information about her communication. Cassidy Hutchinson's most outrageous claims lacked any evidence, and the Select Committee had knowledge that her claims were false when they publicly promoted her. So it was anything to get these to make it. It's really shameful that these people would put other human beings in jail for no reason.
Absolutely.
And keep them there and ruin their lives and their families' lives for 4 years for political. It's unbelievable that even Democrats would do that stuff. Is unbelievable to me.
I agree. I don't know how they think it's Well, again, they don't understand basic liberty, so they just pass over that and say, well, this seems like the right thing to do. These people are bad people. Let's lock them up.
Well, they have no sense of humanity.
Absolutely.
I mean, I got to say, as much as I don't like the libs, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night knowing that I put a bunch of them in jail for no reason.
I agree.
How could you?
How does Hillary Clinton sleep at night? They're all just heartless dirtbags. They
are.
have no feelings. They don't care. They don't care. Those people 4 years now, when Trump gets in, he'll pardon them all. Then they'll get out. Then they'll sue the government for wrongful imprisonment when the January 6th.
Giant class action suit,
Yep.
right?
They're all going to get millions of dollars, but it'll be under Trump.
Yeah.
That's what they're looking for.
Well, they should have some kind of
Absolutely.
Oh, they'll
retribution,
get
some
compensated, but then they'll
compensation.
say, "Oh well, the January 6th people sued under Trump." That's what they're looking for.
Oh yeah,
They're
yeah.
looking for that little notch.
Well, you know what I would like to see Trump do, or Vivek, or whoever's going to be in charge of this type of thing. You have another committee to investigate the J6 committee,
Absolutely.
and you pardon all these people, and you put these people on as advisors.
Absolutely.
So these people who have been in jail for 4 years can have some oversight as to what happens to the people who put them there. Wouldn't that be a good revenge?
Democracy. That
Yeah. they
Did
don't
the
even-
Democrats think that this wouldn't come back to haunt them?
I think
They're
they
that
didn't-
cocky,
they
yes.
didn't think.
They don't care. 'Cause
How
they know
off
they'll never spend a day in jail. They never will. No politician will ever spend time in jail. Democrat anyway. They'll never be. Liz Cheney will never see a day in prison. She'll get convicted and something will happen where she can't go. It's just
It's infuriating.
it's what we do.
It's infuriating, and some of those people, I guess there's an old lady in jail too, is one of those J6ers, and there's some people who none of them deserve to be there. 4 years. Imagine 4 years of your life taken away by some stupid ass Democrats who have a vengeance, political vengeance against President Trump. Yep. So now your whole entire world is destroyed. Your family's broke because you can't earn any money at that point. Mm-hmm. You're stuck in jail for 4 years, probably getting unhealthy and having physical ailments Absolutely. And all sorts of stuff. I am so disgusted at these Democrats for this stuff. I just hope that that President Trump seeks some sort of consequence for these people. Oh, unbelievable! It pisses me off so bad.
They haven't even been charged yet, have they?
Who?
Them.
Are
they convicted of anything?
Oh, the people in jail now?
Or are they just waiting?
Yeah, I don't even know how's that status work. Like, I think
Danny, our producer, should do some research on that.
I thought they were just. I don't want to go saying stuff because legal stuff that I don't know. I don't want to put out bad information.
Are they all convicted, or are they all waiting trial?
Yeah.
4 years.
Doesn't even matter. They're in there for 4 years for something they didn't.
4 years of club fed.
No good reason. Unbelievable.
Should go on a field trip and visit them.
And you wonder why I dislike Democrats. But you want to know who's fighting for your gun rights? Gun Owners of America. Now, GOA is the no compromise gun rights group, so I urge you to become a member at gunowners.org. What have they done? Well, GOA secured a preliminary injunction against the ATF pistol brace rule. GOA members submitted a record 85,000 plus comments opposing the ATF's universal registration check rule. They helped enact permitless carry in Nebraska and Florida. GOA secured victories in California, Illinois, New Mexico, New York, Oregon, Pennsylvania, and Virginia. Plus, they won 2 legal victories against the ATF zero tolerance policy. And GOA fought to overturn Joe Biden's ban on funding hunter education, shooting sports, and archery in schools. So with this constant attack on our Second Amendment, we often ask ourselves, well, what can I do about it? Well, this is what you can do. You can become a member at gunowners.org and help us save the Second Amendment. So there you have it. Liz Cheney hopefully gets investigated along with all the other J6 committee members, oversight committee members, or whatever they're called, and I hope there's some consequence. I don't know. What else are you going to do?
I think a stoning in Center Square would be good.
Nice. They certainly deserve it.
All the J6ers can go out and stone them. Old school.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why if the people who've been imprisoned can be advisors to this oversight group, if hopefully an oversight group is created to investigate the investigators, and those people can be involved, my gosh, that would be at least if it was me, it would be some sort of
Revenge,
some sort of
compensation in some way, right?
Hopefully they get millions of dollars. I hope their families are well off for the rest of their lives after this.
Agreed.
Anyway, apparently, cackling Kamala doesn't want to go away.
Oh, Lord. What is this?
She wants to be governor.
Even
This
though
stupid moron.
even though America has rejected her. It's concerning. Is an article by MSNBC, okay? We're actually reading an article from MSNBC. Fake news MSNBC.
All right.
It's concerning that the headline is, it's concerning that Kamala Harris is apparently considering another White House run. So, Vice President Kamala Harris hasn't given up on the White House just yet, according to reports from CNN and the Washington Post. Harris and her allies are weighing another potential White House run against other possible options, including a run for California governor in 2026. The quote is, she remains undecided herself, unsure how to channel feelings she has for now. Worked into stock lines like, "You haven't seen the last of me," and "I'm not going quietly into the night." Repeated to supporters who ask her what's next. CNN said, citing several people who have spoken with the vice president directly. They're saying that they propose that Harris shift her gaze away from the White House and focus on a run for California governor.
She'll never get voted in there.
Or some other kind of public service.
If they if they want worse than Newsom, then you vote that stupid moron in.
Yeah, well, that might be good, though, for Republicans. Because if she's in there and a Republican governor, a Republican wants to run for California, she might be easy. Well, okay, so here's the question. Would she be easier to beat than Newsom?
Well, Newsom can't run anyway.
Can't run.
He's done.
Oh, he's done that.
He's
Okay,
done.
yep.
His term's over. He's done after 26. Thank God, because by then I don't think California will be anything.
So she runs a primary, hypothetically. In California, she becomes the nominee.
They need to find a really high-powered Republican to run against her and take her out.
Yeah.
She won't win governor. There's no way. If anybody in California watches this show and you stupid morons vote that idiot in this governor, you deserve everything you get.
Well, people say the same about us here in New York.
Right.
That we deserve
We're
what
not
we
in
get.
charge, though. New York City's in charge.
Yeah.
We don't. Our vote don't matter.
Believe me,
It doesn't. If New York City wasn't attached, Trump would have won New York. Look at it. You saw the map. It's that little dirtbag blue ink spot that does us every time.
about half the population of New York State is down.
It's down in the city.
Downstate. Yeah, down in the city. And then upstate, we still are
Pretty red.
we're pretty red, but we still have liberals and
You got
Democrats.
garbage tank. You got Albany and all the dirtbag cities. That
Syracuse, Rochester,
Syracuse,
Buffalo.
Rochester, all the big Buffalo, all the dirtbag cities. That vote
Dirtbag
blue.
cities.
So I mean, we try us conservatives. We hate our leadership here in New York State, and I'm sure there's a lot of conservatives in California who can't stand it either. So, but yeah, I mean, it's easy to say you vote for it, that's what you get. But we're in the same position. We don't want this.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully, a good Republican comes up and can beat her or whoever the nominee is.
I think that's the perfect time. I think California will switch. They got to be tired of what's going on there.
They gotta be. How could
People
it
are
be?
leaving. They lost, they lose 2 seats in Congress because people left. People are moving to Florida and Kentucky and Tennessee. They're moving out of there. It's just, I don't even know what. I mean, you can ignore stuff just for so long, you know what I mean? But then it's like, what's going on? People are leaving. Ben Shapiro left. Tesla left. All these people are moving out of there because
And they don't
can't-
change.
They don't change.
They don't
anything.
change the policies.
Nope.
So what was that? Oakland. Oakland is the armpit of
It's a dump.
of the country.
It's a dump.
And
And you don't see any of that though. Like you won't see it normally. They will never show you Oakland
Right.
They'll show you the real nice spots like Beverly Hills, Rodeo Drive. Oh, yeah, where all the rich dirtbag Hollywood people live.
Yeah.
But they don't show Oakland. We've seen Oakland.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we showed video of Oakland on the
like
show.
Venezuela.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Unbelievable.
believe the dirt and filth of that place. I'm like, how do you live here? How are you voting for that mayor there? How did you? That was insane.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, I take him. What are you doing?
Well, the article goes on to say Harris was undoubtedly dealt a bad hand in the 2024 election. A bad hand? No, she sucked. Nobody liked her. But she's also exactly the wrong kind of figure to try to lead the party going forward in an era of populism and rapidly shifting coalitions. Harris isn't entirely to blame for her loss to Donald Trump, MSNBC is claiming. She was handed the reins at the last minute, and she was the vice president of an extremely unpopular president. Well, that was true. That was true. She was,
But you were part of that mess.
she was part of the mess. She created the mess.
She
And
could have started 3 years ago and she still would have lost. She's stupid. She's not smart. She doesn't answer. I've never heard anybody talk word salad like her.
No.
And not understand a damn thing that she said.
she never gave any information on her policies and stuff like that.
It's like, how do you interview somebody like that and say, what the hell are you talking about? No, it's like when bands suck and nobody tells them they suck.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, you guys are great.
Yeah.
No, you suck.
Yeah, you're great. You're great. And they think they're great.
They think they're great.
They're
and
singing
their
off
head
key.
gets all big, and
Right.
but you go watch them, you're like, man, you really suck. But nobody has the balls to tell people they suck.
Right. Right.
John does.
You do.
You
I'll tell them all they suck. Because you gotta stop feeding people's egos. It's stupid. She's an idiot. I would be if I was interviewing her, I'm like, I can't do this. You're stupid as hell.
Yeah.
Just walk off.
Wow.
If Harris were to run for president again, she would be saddled with many of the vulnerabilities that defined her during her first general election run. In addition to being encumbered by a toxic association with post-pandemic inflation, Harris is also closely linked to the spike in immigration during the Biden presidency. Despite a party-wide pivot to the right on immigration, Harris failed to persuade the electorate that she could be trusted on the issue. That's a pretty serious mark against her, given the sustained salience of immigration in political debate across the Western world. So it's true. She was a total loser right from the start. She lost in her primary the first time she ran for president. She didn't lose. She dropped out before anybody could even vote. She knew that nobody wanted her.
Nobody wanted it.
She left her constituents hanging and went home. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
And now, doesn't she still owe like $20 million?
She spent like
campaign
$1.5 billion on a campaign and lost.
She paid these
Performers.
entertainers like $10 million. Beyonce got $10 million for 3 minutes.
Oh, my God.
Sign me up.
Can only ignore it for
I will
so
say
long.
whatever you want me to say for
Yeah.
3 minutes for $10 million.
Yeah.
But there's no way that woman got a law degree by taking a bar exam. There's not a chance that woman passed the bar exam unless it was with crayons and
Well, she was up on the bar.
she was
or
swinging
her
on the
knees,
bar, right.
Because there's no way. I don't care what anybody says. She
John
did not
didn't like
pass the
that
bar.
visual, did he?
I-
Kamala swinging on a bar.
I wonder what
20 years
color.
ago, I'd look at it, you know.
I wonder when she runs for governor, what color she's going to be or what nationality.
Right.
Gosh, gonna be.
Is she going to be black? Is she going to be white, Indian? Or is she going to be, cowboy, urban? I mean, she's going to wear a cap. What are we going to do?
If I were to bet, I would say we're not going to hear anything of her ever
I
again.
don't think so.
But I could be wrong. And if she does, though, it's going to be just another blowout.
Oh, she'll show up somewhere as a DA or something and ruining people's lives somewhere. Like she did when she was, was she Attorney General in California?
Yeah.
Sending all those people to jail.
Destroying everybody's lives for marijuana. That's great.
And proud that she was putting people, behind bars for little things.
Bragging about it.
And then bragging about gun laws, in-home kind of gun lockup laws, that they wanted to pass. And then she said something like, we will go into those homes to make sure that people are following the law. Kidding me?
You mind if I go look at your safe phone and make sure that everything's separated? Yeah, that's going to go over.
That's
That'll
communism.
take you 50 years. I tell you, there's no way that woman got a law degree. Mr. Brown.
I think we're probably getting close to running out of time, but before we go, I think it's time for a woke patrol.
Woke Patrol.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children. That's the last thing we want to do. We don't want to scare anybody.
So today's woke patrol comes from the UK. Now, where this British wokester cannot understand American culture because she has been so conditioned by the liberal woke school of thought, I guess you could call it. So there are two clips here. I want to play both of them for you. Go ahead.
Americans, I have the most sincere question to ask you, and I genuinely mean no offense by it. I don't mean to offend you at all. I'm not making a joke of it. I'm not making any light of it. I'm genuinely curious as to why this is this a thing? Is this a thing or is it not? Because I don't know if I'm just being pranked or if it's actually a thing, okay? So, do you actually have guns under your pillows? Do you actually go to sleep with a gun under your pillow? Because I made a video about Americans not using duvets, okay? I was just like, what the hell? I really thought everyone in the world used duvets, okay? But they don't, apparently. But a lot of Americans were like, babe, we're not worried about the clown in the corner of the room because we have a gun under our pillow. I'm like, genuinely, are you going to sleep with a gun under your pillow? Because if I'm going to be having an American husband, I do need to know these things before I, go over there and learn these things. I don't want to shock in the night thinking he's trying to kill me because I didn't know this was a thing. I thought that was maybe only things that they do in the movies. Do you actually go to bed with a gun under your, realistically, are you getting a good night's sleep with a gun under your pillow?
Okay, so before you play hold off on that next video if you don't mind, Danny. I want to address this one first. So this is a girl who has no idea why we have guns. I know the under the pillow thing might be a little bit of a figure of speech, but next to the nightstand, of course we do.
Yeah, mine's in my nightstand every
on the
night.
Nightstand, yeah, within arm's reach.
Sleeping nicely.
Of course, everybody's
not bothering anybody.
Everybody's
it's not sneaking
happy.
out at night.
One in the
It's
chamber.
not going out and shooting people. It's not having a bar. It's not at the bar causing trouble.
Not wanting to kill your wife.
I know.
But this is common practice to us, and they don't understand. This girl has no idea. This is a totally foreign concept to her. A gun, as she says, under the pillow, but really what she's talking about is, next to you while you're sleeping.
Yeah.
This is why we won the Revolutionary War. It was because European countries went on to condition their people. Ever since our American founding, they continued on with the same practices, and this is the result. This girl is the result.
Absolutely.
250 years later.
If I want the mannequin husband, you're gonna sleep under the. What are you talking about, babe? Don't lean on that pillow. It's got a gun under it.
Well, they don't have freedom. They don't understand it, and it probably scares them.
Where
frankly.
is she from?
UK.
Okay, so they don't even have freedom of speech there, really.
Right.
Not like we do. So it's understandable that they've been programmed over the generations to think that all this stuff is just. She can't even imagine it, right? She can't. I can't imagine that.
Right.
What if I get an American husband? Well, I think you're going to talk to him first and find out if he's got a gun before you say yes.
Well, she said that she's afraid he would shoot her.
Right. That's why I have a gun, to shoot my wife.
Yeah. This is the crazy thing. People who are this non-gun owner, anti-gun, non-gun owner, whatever you want to call them, they can't compartmentalize the gun and the desire to kill people. Like, just because I guess my point is, just because you have a gun does not mean you want to hurt people. It means most of the time that you want to help people.
Well, I think what that shows is how dangerous it is to be fed information for the purpose of programming without having any understanding of the basic concepts behind what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
And from the UK, I guess I understand it. But Americans who think that way don't understand the Constitution, right? They don't understand basic liberty, so they hear something and they're going, ooh, that's not a good idea.
Right.
Well, wait a minute. You're missing the whole point. The reason that that's an idea at all is because these are the rights that we have from the beginning. That's what we're supposed to be able to exercise. So if you don't understand that, stop making a judgment about that, but they don't care.
Right, good
They've
point.
been programmed to make judgments about everybody. How often do we see it? Oh, you're a racist. You're this. You're that. Wow, wait a minute. You don't know me.
Yeah, and just because you have a gun, they think that you're gonna hurt people with it.
And how often does that happen?
Yeah, but she
Right.
does. But she doesn't understand too either. Is that if you don't put one in the chamber, you can actually put that gun under your pillow and touch it. And it
Well,
won't
she
go off.
doesn't understand the
She doesn't
mechanics of it.
understand the mechanic,
Yeah,
but a revolver is different. But if you have a semi-auto, you can actually put it under your pillow and not have it racked and ready to go. You know what I mean? You can just pull it out.
Yeah.
You can move it around, pull the trigger. It's not going to go off.
right.
But
Well,
she's just been, like you said, conditioned to believe that we sleep with a loaded gun under our pillow.
Well,
and if you
Yeah,
roll
moving
over, it's
around,
going to
there's
go
just
off.
rounds going everywhere.
she's so far gone
Oh, yeah.
that her actually understanding those mechanics that you're talking about, that's not even in
Then
the
you try to
realm
explain
of
it to her. She's like, huh?
She is a redhead.
that is not even. Well, we got another clip of her, and this is her on the American flag, and just watch this. This is interesting.
Got a major question to ask the Americans, and I know some people are going to get offended by this, but I mean nothing but love by it. And I want to move to America, so I need to know this because I'm starting to think I'm losing the plot, and I actually don't know what's going on in that side of the world because y'all are living a different life. Okay? What is it with you all putting American flags everywhere? What is that? Is it, why do you do it? I'm not asking, I'm not asking for any offensive reason. I'm wanting to know the reason as to why. Because we don't do that here. You never really see obviously you don't see an American flag here, but you rarely see a UK flag here because we don't like our country, quite frankly.
You just answered your
so
question.
why do y'all do it?
Yeah.
Why do y'all do it? Because
Exactly.
I'm confused. I don't get it. I'm confused.
seriously
and I
doesn't
need some
understand.
clarification on why
She
that
can't-
is because it's perplexing me. Okay? It's perplexing me and I need the answers, okay?
She can't comprehend love for your country.
By the
She
way,
admitted it.
By the
Yeah.
way, Danny, you should get her over here and marry her.
Does she have
Get
an
her, straighten
only?
her out.
She have
She's
an
looking for a
OnlyFans
husband.
page?
She's looking for a husband.
With a gun and a flag.
That's it. A holster. That's it.
But yeah, it's amazing how she doesn't understand the concept.
Yeah.
She answered her own question.
Well, she did.
We
yeah.
don't have flags up because we hate our country.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our flags up because they love our country.
Yeah.
That's kind of.
But how basically screwed up is that? You've lived someplace your whole life. Everything you have, you've gotten in that country, yet you hate your country.
Yeah. Because
about
that's the
programming.
liberal brainwashing. It happens everywhere. It happens all over the world. And they're convinced to hate their country. They're convinced that they're victims of society. They're convinced of all this stuff, so they're easily controlled. And so, yeah, if you can control people through fear, that's the way it goes. Anyway, Danny's wrapping us up. So on that note, we're gonna take off. But we'll see you next week. Thanks for watching us on all our platforms and Rumble and YouTube. You can catch us, at least not for now. You catch us on YouTube. All the platforms for podcast platforms. And just remember, the Second Amendment is not a privilege. It's your right.